Good fucking morning, YouTube. It's Saturday morning. I'm ready to get my day started. Gonna go ahead to Starbucks, get my white girl on, and head to the shop and start. All right, guys, just pulled up to the shop. Got my white girl on. If you guys like Starbucks, you have to try the toasted vanilla oat milk. This shit, fire. Fucks my life up. I'm gonna get settled in. I gotta bump some music to get me pumped up, start my day, and unfortunately, all stupid copywriting shit, I can't have music playing. So I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna have my white girl drink, and then we're gonna get started. I'm cutting that shit right the fuck off. I had a few friends ask me how I do it, so I guess today you're gonna find out, and hopefully it helps you guys out. All right, so I'm ready to start. All I did so far, obviously just popped off the moldings. They just basically lift off with a screwdriver. And then I just right now trimmed the windshield seal back just so I could see where the body panel is. There is these little clips here. I just popped those off with a screwdriver on both sides. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on the back here. This panel is just spot welded. You can see all the little spot welds. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna drill all those out. And then I'm gonna take my die grinder and I'm just gonna go ahead and this side, all the way along, I'm gonna slice it. Same thing on this side, on the inner edge. See that bottom lip right there? I'm gonna run the die grinder all the way across that. I'm gonna lift it off, and then I have a sanding flap disc, which then I'm gonna grind down the old sheet metal that was part of the roof. Some people just drill out all the rivets. That shit will take you 2 fucking days to do. The way that I do it is a lot faster. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna drill those out. I'm gonna get the tripod set up so you guys can see some of that. And then I'm gonna pop these clips as well. Got the drill set up, all the clips removed. So I'm gonna go ahead and start drilling out these spot welds. Be careful with this technique, don't drill all the way through. I basically just take the top layer of metal off and that's it. I kind of drill accordingly. I'll drill a little bit, look at it. I'll go through all of them. And then if I have to, I'll go over them all again and just basically take a screwdriver after I make the cut, kind of release it up and it should just come right off. So I got those pretty much drilled out. If I need to go over them again, I will. You're not gonna be able to drill those out and pull them up right now. The roof is still really secured to the chassis. So now I'm gonna go ahead and make my cuts on both sides. And actually, let me bring you inside because I'm gonna show you what pieces I remove. And I mean, this is just how I do it. People do things differently. Again, this is just me, how I do things. I'll show you guys right now. All right, so inside the car, you have your bracing under the roof. I leave this. Don't cut this off. I'll cut this small one off. I'll leave the big one, and I'll cut the small, and leave the big. I still need to trim that up. I gotta come in here and clean it up before I paint. I might actually get to that today too. So basically, all the small bracing comes off. Some people cut the entire thing off, which is fine. There's no problems with it. Leave, cut, leave, cut, leave. All right, and basically, how I cut them off is after I make my slit in the roof, you could actually go right through, but you could come inside the car and just make a cut across. These are glued down, so you may fight with the ones in the front, the center, but you'll see what I'm about to go through. It's not really bad. Some people are scared to do it, so hopefully this gets you guys motivated to do it. Let's start cutting. Or what I always say, protect your eyeballs. And I still don't even listen to my own advice. Anytime you're cutting any metal, especially inside the car, when you're physically in there, and you're just fucking cutting and sparks flying everywhere, shit's like all up in your face. You should really have safety glasses, a mask, a face shield. You'll thank me later. Trust me, it's a dirty fucking, put shitty clothes on when you do it. But that's gonna be in another video when that car comes in for weight reduction. I'll show you guys that. And I might actually go out and then take my own advice, buy a fucking face shield and mask. So let's go. And don't get scared. I know this is a stage where everybody's like, oh my God, I don't wanna fucking do it. Please, no, help me. I don't want to do it. You want to see how I fucking do it? Just like that, baby. Jump right in. All right, so this is probably the stage where you guys are gonna shit your pants now. Don't get nervous. I'm not trying to scare you. This is what it's about. So I got the roof halfway off. I hope you guys are ready. I cut both sides, cut the front. The rear spot welds are still kind of attached. So what I do is I basically start rolling the front up, and I do that because those cross braces that go from each side are glued down, and it secures the roof really well. If you come at it at the right angle sideways with like a screwdriver, it just peels right through. It's a very soft, it's not a hard glue. You guys ready to shit your pants? Don't freak out. I don't know if I can show you guys this. Oh my God. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. It does look bad, but it's not as bad as it looks. Let me turn the camera around. All right, this thing looks like a fucking sardine can. Obviously, don't worry about the fucking roof. You're not reusing it. I don't know what, I'm probably into this thing not even 20 minutes. And that's fucking crazy. Literally, if I just grab this and peel it back, it'll come right up. But I need to stop when I get to about right here. To actually make it a little bit easier so this thing's not flapping around, is I'll probably just cut across the top here. So then I just have this tiny piece to work with. And basically, like I said, I might just go over them one more time with the drill. You don't want to drill through. I mean, you can, but you're gonna have holes there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna cut, and then I'm just gonna work it, kind of bend it back and forth, and those spot welds will lift up and the roof is off. Another thing is, like I said, you guys could leave these on or you could take them off beforehand. I leave them attached for now, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just cut, just to remove the smaller sections. Front staying on, I gotta clean up all this glue with a sanding disc, and I gotta clean up all in here. This one is staying. That's pretty much it. I guess I'll set up the tripod so you guys can see me fight with this thing. So let me get you set up and you guys can see how I take off the rear section. Real quick, on a scale 1 to 10, put in the comments below, how scared would you be right now? 10 being the worst, 1, you're a boss, you're not fucking scared at all to do this shit. Like I said, the biggest thing is just actually jumping in and doing it. That's the worst part. You see me, I literally just fired up the die grinder and you just jump right in. You cannot be scared doing this stuff. You kind of want to be calculated when you do it. You don't want to just start fucking hacking through everything. But again, even if it didn't have the front brace or any center bracing, the roof would be a little flimsy, but the carbon roof gives it structure again. Not that big of a deal. So yeah, looks fucking crazy, but I promise after with the carbon roof on, this thing's gonna look amazing. And it wouldn't be anything without some battle scars. Just be careful, the edges are sharp. Maybe I should just try climbing in, maybe? This feels weird, I never stood inside this car like this. Got a convertible, boys. Maybe I should just go to a track like that. This thing is fucking crazy. I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm not fighting with it. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off, there's smaller braces. Yeah, there's one here and one here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut those off. Some gloves on, some type of work gloves. These obviously, they're not gonna protect you off of these razor sharp pieces. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a slice right down the back side. So probably right here. Real quick, be careful when you cut this last piece off. You don't want the roof to either swing up depending on the position of the roof. Just be very careful when cutting this last piece because it's gonna release the roof. All right, boys. Be careful, you don't want to scratch the paint. I know I'm a little careless. You're probably gonna paint in the fucking car. You grab some shears. And it's just basically caught up on this little corner. I didn't want to get the, not die grinder. I didn't want to get the grinder close to the actual quarter. It's held down by like a thread on both sides. All right, she's ready to come off, boys. Oh my God. It's crazy how heavy this is. You think it's just a thin piece of metal? This thing's fucking heavy. Wow. I got the roof off, still got the back section. That's gonna come off very easily. Like I said, I have to come in here with the grinder, basically clean up all the material that doesn't need to be on there. I'll take either 2 hammers and I'll rest one underneath because you can kind of see this little lip right here comes up and it actually interferes with the roof. So I basically just kind of flatten this out and then I'll just grind everything, clean it all up. I gotta cut this one off. That's staying, and then there's one underneath here that I have to get to. But yeah, it's crazy. It's literally been only less than an hour. On the video I dropped yesterday or this morning, somebody asked what the car weighs. I'm gonna see maybe if the guys let me borrow the scales, for two reasons. I want to show you guys what the car weighs, and I actually want to use that as a tool to shed more weight. I want to get more weight out of this car. It's really bothering me. You think this car looks like a tin can right now, especially with no roof. I mean, there's nothing to the quarters. This stuff's all, look at how thin this is. You ready? Look how, it's like, where's the weight? Let me try this. I could probably pick up the car in the back, but it feels fucking heavy. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how heavy this car is. I'm gonna pick it up from the back. Feels like it's like 400 plus pounds still, but it's pivoting weight, so it's not just the rear it's getting picked up. It's literally the entire midsection and the rear because it's pivoting off the front wheels. So it's almost the entire car. I don't even, like, I really want to know what this car weighs right now. I'm gonna say it's gotta be right around 1,000 pounds in the current state, maybe even less, maybe 9, somewhere around there. I'm really curious on it, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and get some scales. So let me blow out my back real quick on fucking YouTube. This thing feels fucking crazy. You guys think I could pick it up? Let's go. I mean, I guess it feels kind of light. The worst part is this fucking shit's digging in your hands. It's pretty sharp under there, but I guess it does feel pretty light. All right, last section, just keep prying on it a little bit. And you don't, like I said in another video, I think it was when I did the post mount on the red car when I took it off, you don't want to use the same size drill bit as a spot weld. You want a bigger bit to cover the entire area. You just want to take the top of the spot weld off. All right guys, so I pretty much have everything rough cut. I didn't go over with the flap disc yet. I'm still kind of like cutting out some little things that I didn't like. I think it's pretty much done. Kind of have a small pile of parts that I am not going to use anymore right there. I am going to get a scale because I want to see how much this stuff weighs alone. All this stuff literally came out of the car today, and you'd think the car's already cut enough, but somehow I got more shit out of it, obviously from the roof too. I did cut a little bit more out of the rear, basically all up in here. It's literally just like a tin can. I want to remove as much weight from the rear of the car. I don't really care too much about structure back there. The back is just along for the ride. I could cut tons of stuff off the front, but I really don't want to because I still need some structure. This isn't a tube chassis car, so I kind of want to keep it beefy up there. Plus it's over the front wheels, so all that stuff's gonna help. But the stuff in the back, I want the rear as light as possible. I'd like it to be, I don't even know, under 200 pounds of wheel when I corner balance. For sure. I definitely want under 200. Hopefully I could reach that goal. I think I'm pretty much done. I gotta just go over everything with the flap disc, clean it all up. I'm actually happy I got all the rear stuff done for when I want to paint the inside of the car. I was dreading doing that, but obviously since I'm already in there with the die grinder, I'm cutting the roof off. I just cleaned up everything else. I think I'm gonna cut a little bit more around the rear quarters. And actually one benefit, it could go either way. If you are planning on doing a roof and you don't have a cage in your car, it's gonna help out whoever is doing your cage. Go ahead and remove your roof first, don't put it on yet. Second is if you already have an existing cage in the car and you wanna do your roof, pull it off. And I'll show you guys right now one of the benefits to doing a roof after the cage is in the car. All right, so the roof's off, cage is already in the car. I didn't have the cage installed, I got it with it in there. It's a Whitfield 10 point, but you can see it's not fully welded all the way around, and that is because the cage is so close up to the roof, you can't even weld in there. So I'm gonna take advantage of that. Also painting the cage is definitely nice. You can see like I painted the best I could with the roof on the car. So now I'm gonna go ahead and sand this down, weld that, and then I'm gonna hit the top of the cage. And then also with the roof off, I did cut this section off just because I wanna be able to paint this, and it was kind of blocking. So I just cut it off. It's not that big of a deal. I think that's it. I think we can call it a wrap. All right, guys, so that's pretty much a wrap. The roof is done. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll catch you guys later.